Fall is all about cozy comforts, and with Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your favorites and still hit your health goals. From breakfast bagels and meal prepped enchiladas to mouth-watering burgers and cheesy noodles. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's FALL25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.
As a small business owner, have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pressure of choosing the right hire or leading a team? Or have you ever found yourself tolerating a bad hire because you fear trying and failing again as you repeat the hiring process? If so, you're not alone, and you are in the right place. Welcome to the Growing Your Team podcast. The Growing Your Team podcast teaches business owners like you to expand your unique business by teaching you to master the hiring and team management process. Hiring and managing a team does not have to be a challenge. You just have to learn to do it right. And the Growing Your Team podcast teaches you how to become a confident leader who hires right every single time. Now, let's jump into the show where each episode you will learn tips on how to identify what type of help you need on your team, how to source amazing candidates, how to conduct interviews that lead you to your ideal team member, how to onboard successfully, and how to lead every person in your business so you have a team of rock stars who you are happy to pay every single paycheck. So let's jump in and teach you how to hire like a pro. Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. Today, I want to share with you some of the things that candidates do during the interview process, the hiring process, that just annoy me, right? So these are things, it's 100% pet peeves. Candidates really aren't doing anything wrong, but these are things that if I could change them about the process, I would. But at the end of the day, especially when I'm recruiting for my clients, it's not all about me, so I have to let these things slide. But I am sure if you've hired before, you've probably experienced things too where you're just like, why would a candidate do that? You know, that's just annoying. Oh my gosh, I hate when candidates do that. Or sometimes like even when clients do it or other people, you know, just those things that are business pet peeves for us. So I'm going to share with you some of mine. So the first one I'm going to share is with candidate names. So a lot of the hiring we do, we post jobs on Indeed. So this is mostly on Indeed that I see it, but just because that's where I spend most of my time talking with candidates. But it absolutely annoys me when candidates put their names in all caps in the name fields on Indeed. I hate it. To me, I'm just like, that's not how you would write your name in any other place. So why are we writing our name differently here? Especially when I export candidates and then I put them into our tracker and everything that we use. I then will have all these candidates where their name is how it should typically be with capitalization, and then these names that are all in capital letters. And it just drives me crazy because then if I'm going to copy and paste or give an update to a client, that I need to go and change their name versus other ones where everything just feeds in or I can quickly copy and paste. So it just drives me crazy. I think sometimes candidates do it because they think, hey, it stands out. But to me, I'm just like, if you need to stand out because your name's all in capital letters versus standing out because you actually have the right skills and experience, you're not standing out in the right way. Let me just tell you, if you're applying for stuff, put the capitalization in your name the way that it should be. I know there are, obviously last names that have capital letters in the middle, first names as well, things like that. So obviously put the appropriate capitalization. I know there's different cultures that do different things. So whatever is right for your name, do it. but do not put your name in all capital letters and that is legally how your name should be written and everything. And that's the way you always do it on everything. That's my first pet peeve. My second pet peeve, this should be obvious, I'm sure it would absolutely annoy everybody, is when people don't show up for their interviews. To me, we are in a digital day and age. When I'm scheduling interviews, we typically use Calendly, which has a nice little link at the bottom when you receive your invite that says you can cancel your interview. Nothing is needed. You don't need to give a reason, nothing. You can just cancel it. But there's candidates that will just not show up. And this really annoys me because as someone who is balancing multiple clients and has all these different interviews going on and client meetings and other stuff that I need to get done in the day as I'm running a business and growing a business, as much as I like getting 30 minutes, 45 minutes back unexpectedly in my day, sometimes I'm just like, great, I was trying to schedule other candidates and I could have used that block for someone who actually wants to show up for their interview instead of holding that time for someone who had no plans on showing up. So I just wish candidates would actually cancel their interviews if they didn't plan on showing. Even worse is the candidates that reschedule their interview and then don't show up for the rescheduled one. That one is hard. And there's that balance between when people are like, I had an emergency, I need to reschedule, where I'm now to the point where it's, do you really have an emergency, or are you just lying because you're going to reschedule because you're waiting on another job offer and you're most likely not going to show up for that rescheduled time and you're not going to have the courtesy at that point in time to reach out? And I know from talking to other business owners that are hiring, candidates not showing up for interviews is annoying. It is so annoying. We all experience it. And I just wish people would have the decency to send a notification and use that as a reminder. You too, don't just not show up for something. Tell people you're not coming. You don't need to give long explanations why. You can simply say, I'm not going to be there. Or if there's an option to cancel online easily without talking to someone, cancel. Don't keep people waiting for you when you have no intentions on showing up. All right. And the last one I'm going to share today is one that I absolutely hate. Worse. I hate this worse than people not showing up, is when candidates will ask me at the end of the interview my thoughts and opinions on how they did and if they'll be moving on. And I think one of the reasons why I absolutely hate this, it is typically candidates where I think they are an absolute no moving on that ask this question. And I'm then left there trying to figure out, how do I politely navigate this conversation? And so I just wish candidates wouldn't ask that direct question. I think if they were asking other questions, they could properly gauge how they were doing. I honestly think if they paid attention to the questions I was asking and how they were answering them, for example, if they tell me for 4 of my questions that they do not have that type of experience, they should already know that most likely they're not moving on, that they don't have the experience that we're looking for. And some people I know, they want that instant gratification. They want to be told. They want to sometimes be, plead their case if they're told no, they're not moving on. But to me, I just find it super, super awkward. I hate it. And I wish candidates would stop asking in an interview how the interviewer thought they did, especially because some people are not in the moment processors. I know plenty of clients that say they want to take their notes and relook through it because that is how they process things. That is how they make decisions. They are not an in-the-moment decision maker. They need to process it and step away and then come back and make their decision. So candidates that put you on the spot because they want to have immediate feedback drive me crazy. And I'll just be frank and honest. I will never tell a candidate in that interview my honest opinion. That will come later. And if they want feedback, I will be happy to give them feedback later. But I never like being put on the spot to deliver candidate feedback. And then I have one more that I just thought of. I absolutely hate it and find it super annoying when candidates put references available upon request on their resume. Because I just look at that and say, well, of course. Of course you're going to be available upon request. Because if I request them and you don't give them to me, guess what? You're not getting the job. I don't need to see them on the resume. I don't need to see anything. And we don't need to include that because once again, like I kind of look at it as if I ask for it, you have two choices. Give me the references and we continue with the process, or you're deselecting yourself out of it. So when they include things on their resume that it's like, that does not need to be there. That's just wasted space. It annoys me. And that is one of those things that references upon request hits up there with those top pet peeves I have of things candidates do that annoy me during the interview process. All right. So that's it for my pet peeves for today. The reason I want to share this is the interview process isn't perfect. There's things that are going to hit those nerves. There's things that we're just like, oh my goodness, why does a candidate do that? And you're not alone. Your list might be completely different than my list, but it's just the realities of interviewing. It's the realities of doing anything in business. There's going to be things people do that just annoy us, that they are pet peeves. So I just wanted to share this as a reminder. We are all human. We all have pet peeves. There's always things people are going to do that annoy us. You're not alone. So just keep pushing through. Keep looking for those candidates that you love. And as always, if you need help, I'm here to support you.
Are you ready to hire a new team member for your business and you want to ensure you hire the person who can succeed in the role, make you happy, and positively impact your bottom line? Then let's talk and see how growing your team can help you master the art of hiring. Through bespoke hiring frameworks and comprehensive guidance, you will learn how to attract candidates who have the passion you desire and the skills needed to succeed. At Growing Your Team, women entrepreneurs and leaders work with us to help them expand their unique businesses by teaching them how to hire like a pro. Let's connect and see how we can help you. Send me an email at jamie@growingyourteam.com. That's Jamie, Jamie, @growingyourteam.com, or head on over to growingyourteam.com/jumpstart, with jumpstart being all one word, and let's talk about how you can become a confident leader who hires right every single time.